The cherry trees are blossoming! Oh. I actually got hurt on that one.
3, 2, 1, bro.
What's up, everybody? My name is Michael Lee Murphy. I'm one half of the brothers Murph, and this is Board Game Highlight, a weekly segment where either Nick or I take a game down from the shelf, dust it off, apologize for not playing it often enough, and talk about why we love it. This week, we have a game that's fairly new, fairly simple, and really kind of elegant in kind of the thematics behind the game. I am talking about The Legend of the Cherry Tree that blossoms every 10 years. Now, in an effort to make sure that this video does not outstay its welcome, I'm not going to repeat the title, The Legend of the Cherry Tree that blossoms every 10 years, very many times. What I'm going to do is right here at the start, I'm going to give it a really dramatic reading. I'm going to dip into my training, just to kind of make up for not saying it later. Think like a tree, strength from the earth, the roots going down deep, sucking up the water and light, and the legend of the cherry tree that blossoms every 10 years. Dang! Got some Liam Neeson on that one. Dang, put stank on it. Cut, print. So the legend of the cherry tree that nope. So I said I wouldn't do that. So this game is all about telling the story of certain trees that blossom every so often, and it draws tons of tourists all around to come see the beautiful blossoms, and as the flowers fall to the ground, people rush to collect them. People go crazy for this. They're like, "The cherries are blossoming!" And they just want to get all these beautiful blossoms, I guess, as memories, maybe press them into books. I don't know. I don't tell people how to handle their fallen flowers. But you also want to make sure you're being respectful of the process. So the whole goal of the game is, thematically, story-wise, is to grab as many as you can without being overly greedy, because that's bad form.
Bad form!
This kind of translates into a press your luck game. So in this game, it's very simple. Right here, this is pretty much it. You have a couple of little player boards that kind of act as little dividers so you can hide certain information. You have your flower petals of different colors, and you have a couple of powers that you can get based on how many flowers and what types you draw from the bag. So all of these flowers are going to go into this little mystery bag. Depending on the player count, it plays 2 to 4. You're going to take a certain amount of flowers out, so it kind of scales. Then if you had the game set up, you would have a couple people with their little boards. So if it's my turn, I get to rummage about in this bag, and you get to pull out a certain amount of flowers. Now, the amount of flowers you pull out is up to you. There's a couple of things that can make you kind of burn your turn or bust or whatever you want to call it. So you, on your turn, you can pull from the bag 3 separate times. You can grab a total of 8 flowers, and you can decide to go 1 flower, but you only have 3 pulls. You can grab 5 to start. Whatever you want. It's totally up to you. So me, I'm not a coward, right? I start with minimum of 3. That's my minimum. Bam. And you grab 3 flowers out and you reveal what you found. So the ways that you bust are simple. If you grab 3 of the same color on your turn, like I just did with these yellow, I would then lose just about everything. Another way that you would bust is if you got 5 unique colors out in front of you. That is being overly greedy. You're just trying to get every single different type of flower. Come on, man. Settle down. All right, that'd be a way that you would bust. Or if you grab 9 or more flowers. Again, 8 is the limit. You can pull from the bag 3 times. You can have a total of 8, but if you actually mess up and pull out too many, then you're just going crazy. You're not even looking what you're grabbing. You're just going, aish, and like, no one likes that. Americans. So you have to be kind of careful as you're pulling, but you also get benefits if you do happen to grab a good amount of flowers. You have things like this. If you get 4 unique colors. Remember, 5 makes you bust, but if you get 4 unique colors, you get to do one of the powers. If you grab 6 flowers total, regardless of the type, you get to do a different power. Or if you get 2 pairs of colors, you also get to activate a different power. So again, it pushes you to go right up to the line, but if you go over, bad stuff happens. So if you bust in one of the ways, you're going to lose almost everything that you collected. You will get to keep up to 2 flowers, and these are actually mandatory that you do keep 2. So if this is what I had collected, I just grabbed way too many things, I threw it down, I've got a bunch of the same color, probably got too many flowers, I'm going to discard everything but 2 flowers, and I have to choose 2 flowers of a different color. So maybe I can do 1 yellow, 1 dark blue, the rest go back in the bag. Now this seems like, well, that's a good thing, I collected flowers, and it can be. You can strategically fail if that's a thing. I don't know if that's a thing. But the way the scoring happens, if you ended up only having like this one yellow, this one blue, it's going to cost you points. You need to have at least 3 in front of any one color to have a positive score. So that's ways that you can kind of get messed with. Now, you think like, okay, there's these different colors. Just don't get 3 of the same color or 5 unique types. Not a problem. But there are wilds in here. There are, depending on player count, a handful of these black flowers. Now, these black flowers are really useful because they're wild. They're useful if you can manage to collect them successfully. It's very difficult. So these, if they're paired with a white, these are all considered white now. And obviously I'm way over on the 3 of 1 color limit. So these really get in the way because now you get 2 blues, 2 pink, and you grab a yellow and a black, now you're out because now you have 3 blue or 3 pink and then you're out. If you manage to fail right here, the black goes in the bag no matter what. And then I'm left with these 2 to collect. Now I've got 4 different colors out here. All I only have 1 of. My score is looking real bad. So it's actually kind of hard to collect the black flowers successfully. It can be done, and then if it can be done, it's really useful because now when it's out here in the front, I can choose to make this a pink or a light blue or a dark blue or a yellow and add to my score. So in the game, if you have a successful collection, meaning you didn't bust and you stop, you're like, hey, I'm gonna stop right here. I've got 2 dark blues. I don't want to worry about busting. I'm not gonna pull from the bag again. I'm just gonna stop and collect. I have made a successful collection. Now you have to decide what's going to go in front of your screen, what's going to go behind your screen. When you do this, you have the choice of one of the colors you collected. You have to take all of that color and put it in front of your screen. So in this case, I'm like, I've got 2 dark blues. That's better than just having 1 of anything else. I'm going to put my blues in front of here. Everything else is going to go behind your screen for you to know about and no one else. So that's just some of the basics of how you go about grabbing these. Again, I like to just kind of be bold about it. I don't win very often as a result, but it just feels better, right? So let's talk a little bit about how the scoring is going to work. It's fairly simple and straightforward, and it really comes down to our screens. So we have always in front of our screen and we have behind our screen, and things will show you like on your player powers here when they're going to go where, in front or in back of. So if you're in front of your screen, basically you're just trying to collect a lot of probably just a couple colors. So say at the end of the game, this is what I had in front of my screen. On the back of our screens, they have our little scoring aids, which is super, super helpful. So in front of it, it's really simple. Black flowers can be added anywhere to any stack that you want to maximize your score. And then you're just gonna go color by color and you're gonna score them. So if I have 1 flower, I just assess my chart right here. If I have 0 of a color, I get 0 points, I lose 0 points. If I only have 1 of a certain color, I lose 3 points. If I get 2, I lose a point. If I get to 3, I get a point. If I get to 4, now I'm positive 3 points. That's not looking too bad. So now let's see, I lost 3, I gained 3. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counting, and that gives me 8 points. So if I'm looking at my front here, the front of my screen is a total net of 8. So you kind of want to have fewer colors in front if you can, and a lot of those colors. So once you score your front of screen stuff, you could technically just wipe all that or keep it out in front of you if you want, because it's fairly pretty. Look at the pretty colors. Then what you're going to do is you're going to look behind your screen. Behind my screen, I've got a couple of my cooler colors and 1 of my warmer colors. Now, in front of our screen, the black flowers are the only thing that's wild, but behind our screen, black and white flowers count as wild. And before anyone reveals what they have back here, you have to decide where they're going to go, which camp are they going to be in. In this case, I'm like, I've only got 1 warm colored flower. I've got 3. I'm gonna throw the white one over here to hopefully make sure I have the majority of the cooler colored flowers. Behind the screen, you're just trying to have the majority. So if I had the most cool colors, for instance, no one else had more than 4, I'm gonna score 16 points. Pretty big swing considering I only got 8 in front of my screen total. If I came in second, I'd still get 12 points, and if I came in third, I'd get 8 points. So it's not bad. So you kind of want to wage this war behind and figure out, do I want to put my white over here, over there? What was Nick collecting? I can't quite remember. So you have to kind of try to pay attention to people as they're going. But it all depends on what you grab from the bag. So you might not be at a wealth of options, so you kind of have to make do. So this game is really simple, guys. There's not a ton to it. It's just kind of a press your luck, simple game, but something that I really appreciate, kind of the aesthetics of it. The colors are really great. Little nitpicky thing, the dark blue and the black are fairly close together in color, so if you're not in a well-lit studio setting like I am now, it can be a little difficult. Sometimes you go, oh, that's black, darn, okay, I blew up. Or, oh, that's dark blue, good, we're okay, we're safe. This game works really well for like Nick and I because we're chaotic people. We like to play like, I'm going for it, man, like, boom. It's just so fun. Like, I literally never grab less than 3 on the first pull. And there's oftentimes I just pull and I'm like, well, that's 3 light blue right away. Okay, what are the odds? Probably you should never grab more than 2. Because if you think about it, if you can grab from the bag 3 times, I take 2, 4, 6. By the second pull, you have a pretty good idea of where you land. I feel like the odds are less that you're going to blow up after the second pull. But it's just, I can't do it. I'd rather live by the cherry, die by the cherry, and that's why the legend of the cherry tree that blossoms every 10 years. I don't care what I said, I'm a rebel at heart. Perfect. I'm curious, have you played the legend of the cherry tree, and do you like it? Iello Games makes very pretty games, and this is one a high watermark even for them. And I'm curious, have you played it? Do you like it? Do you like other Press Your Luck games? What other ones are out there? Let me know in the comments below, because I quite like pressing my luck. I'm not a very lucky person, but it doesn't stop me from trying. That's it for me, folks. You've been hanging out with me here, chatting about some cherry tree blossoming every decade or fortnight. I don't know how time works. Here on Board Game Highlight. Have a good one. Hey, you just saw us in the video, and now here I am again. Why are you still here? Since we got you here, go ahead and check out Restoration Games. There's info for them in the description below, and they sponsor us. They're super cool and have great games. And there's also like things to click to subscribe to us. And this game is broken. There's videos. There's just more stuff to click so you can see more of this.